Okay, so in and amongst trying to watch hockey, trying to follow what's going on with WWE is difficult. And I was kind of excited for Survivor Series this weekend for one match: Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. Now, the funny thing is, Becky sustains a concussion, bloodied nose. Her face was a mess on Raw because of Nia Jax accidentally hitting her. And it was ugly. She had blood all over her face. And all I could think was, Becky's stone cold. Now, here's the thing. You can have Becky Lynch doing all of the stone cold things in stone cold manners. Why? Because she's a woman. It's never been done before. It is new territory. And when those of us my age say, well, we've seen this before with the Attitude Era, yeah, guess what? The territories used to recycle storylines all the time. I believe it was Jim Cornette that said you can recycle a storyline every 10 years. Might have been less. But yeah, you can recycle storylines because fans have a short-term memory and not so much the long-term. And for those of us who have watched wrestling for a long time, yeah, it can get repetitive. But with Becky, here's the thing. So she can't wrestle this week. I'm kind of more excited now. So you've got Charlotte's in a position now to fight with Ronda, which I think technically could be an excellent match, even though Ronda's moveset is limited because Ronda's still learning. Okay, Ronda's getting better with each match, but she's still learning. If Becky runs in and screws Ronda out of the match, the crowd will go completely insane. Absolutely insane. And then Becky can go in and drop Charlotte after Charlotte wins. A classic Stone Cold move that would drive the crowd completely insane. When Stone Cold really got over, okay, so everybody remembers the double turn at WrestleMania. So you go into WrestleMania, I want to say it was 13, with Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. Stone Cold's the heel, Bret's the face. By the end of the match, it switched. It switched. So Bret was the heel when he left that ring, and Stone Cold was the face. He was put in the sharpshooter, he was bleeding all over the ring, and he never gave up, he passed out. The next night on Raw, Stone Cold was the man. And he said, you never beat me, Bret. You can't beat me, Bret. And even though we had seen Stone Cold lose to Bret numerous times before that, and I was kind of getting tired of the feud, to be honest, that night, it was electric. It was amazing. That's why the idea that Becky had lost a bunch of matches and then all of a sudden she's the man, what's that about? Guess what? Stone Cold did the same thing. You walk to that ring like you own it. She has fought everybody. She doesn't care who it is. And tonight saying that, you know, she wants Charlotte to go out and represent her and represent SmackDown to fight Ronda, I think you could have the makings of a fantastic, I don't want to say 4 horsewomen because it's been done to death, but think about it. Sasha Banks and Bayley aren't doing anything right now on Raw. They're pointless. You move the 2 of them over to SmackDown, you can take the Iconics and move them over to Raw, and you can put together the horsewomen, and they can all work as heels. At this point, Becky's bubblegum persona and her handing out bracelets thing, they've destroyed that. The way they've handled Bayley since the call-up has been so botched, and her character now is so different than what it was in NXT that they can just forget that altogether. And I think that would be the smartest thing to do, would be just to forget it. And I'm definitely doing fantasy booking that will never happen. I think if you had the 4 of them together as the 4 horsewomen, and they don't have to be heels, they don't have to be faces, because the horsemen back in the day, they were heels, but they were cheered like crazy. People loved the horsemen. You know, we all booed when they beat up Dusty Rhodes, but then we cheer when they beat somebody else up that same night. So it can be done. And with Flair, it works. It absolutely works. I don't think this is going to influence Becky's ascension. I am concerned about the fact that we're starting to see a number of women getting hurt. I think as much as women want to work like men do, they will start getting hurt like men do, and they could get hurt worse because they do have a smaller frame, and some of those high impact moves, you're more likely to break something or cause a problem. It was an accident that happened with Becky, but I'm looking at Alexa Bliss and I'm nervous. I'm nervous with Alexa. She's been out for a while. That maybe it's worse than what we're hearing. Maybe, you know, it's been a while. So We'll see what they do, but it's an exciting time as a wrestling fan, and yet Brock's the champ, and I don't know what they're doing with Braun. They've kind of ruined Braun. They've healed him, then he's a face again, and I don't care. And they haven't built anybody up as a challenger. Now tonight, Daniel Bryan beats AJ Styles for the title, kind of out of nowhere. So you got 4 days to build to a match between Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar, a match that should have had a build of months, and you give it 4 days. Bravo, fantastic. The heel turn feels weird. I guess if they put Daniel Bryan and The Miz together in some kind of weird way, it'll work. But I don't know. It's weird. It's just really, really weird to me. And now what do you do with AJ? Does AJ just get the title back now? Do they just have AJ win the title back at the next pay-per-view after Survivor Series? So build up this feud and then have AJ take the title back? I can't see them leaving the title on Daniel Bryan for very long. Because they never do. They don't see him as a champion. He's transitional. Or are they transitioning it to Samoa Joe? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't get it. And that's the weird thing, is the men are booked kind of like I see the bar with Big Show and I'm like, that's just weird. I don't buy into that at all. They may be friends backstage. They may all be buddies, but I don't get this dynamic at all. This is weird. And then, you know, they're against New Day. And New Day, I love the guys. They're amazing. And live, they're fun. But, man, it's stale on TV. It is. It's stale on TV. So, you know, they throw the pancakes. They do their thing. But it's stale. So, it's really weird. You know, the women's division, I'm excited about everything they're doing. Almost. There are some weird ones like Mandy Rose turning on Sonya Deville. Why? That seems pointless. There's some pointless stuff going on. But there's some really, really good work going on there too. So I don't think that we're in an attitude era. But you know what? It's starting to look a lot like it. If you pay attention to the small things that are going on here, there are some attitude-ish things. And the biggest sign for me was the fact that when Becky got busted open, they didn't turn the camera away from her. And they would have a couple years ago. They didn't. They showed it. They zoomed in on it. And honestly, made her look more badass. And that's something that we want to see in wrestlers, is not them getting hurt, but them looking like they can, you know, they can fight and making us feel like we're more into it. So she's doing the best work of anybody on either roster right now. She's absolutely killing it. And it's good because for the last 2 years on this channel, I have talked her up as being fantastic. And I'm glad that they've finally given her the ball and let her run with it a bit. I don't care that she's got an accent. It doesn't matter. She's excellent at cutting promos, and she's excellent in the ring. And as a Stone Cold type figure, fantastic. So there you go. I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Are you interested in Survivor Series this weekend? Are you excited about it? Are you not at all interested and you're just moving on to other things? Be interested to know your thoughts. What do you think of the 5-on-5 matches? I personally couldn't care less. I really couldn't. They're pointless to me. But again, you know, maybe it's just the old curmudgeon speaking. So let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.